Okay, so I want to show you the new Wusik station version 8.2.0. This is a very big update. There's several new features. So let me try to show you a few of the features. And the main feature here, now we have on the effects master, you can use VST effects. The installer will install the MDA effects, and not just effects, but you can also use VST synths in here. So you can also use Wusik Station to host other VSTs. So there's a lot of options on the MDA effects for Windows. The Mac version also has the MDA effects, they also work. And just the Windows has the studio verbs, when the Mac doesn't have. And I can add here either via the effects or synths. So you can see that I added a synth. This is a VSTi, it's an instrument. Or if I add a delay here. Oh, it's a bit too low on my... And, well... Right here. So I can host the VSTs, and to add other VSTs, you just open... Let me open here my data folder. This is my data folder for Wusik Station version 8. You can see here the VST effects 32 and 64 bits. On the Mac is just VST effects, and you just place your files there. So and place one by one, test, and be sure that VST is working, the one is selected. And if the selected VST has interface or presets, it's going to show here. I'm going to load one that has presets. This one has presets. So I can load programs. So, and if it has interface, it's going to show up the interface there. It's going to show an option here, open the interface, the editor. And the same thing you can do with insert effects here. So that's one bigger update. Another one is micro tuning support for those that use the tune files, the Scala files. You just place again on the data folder. There's a tune folder where you can place your tune files, and it just load here. Let me see. Another option that you have that is new is the ADSR mode for envelope, either the amplitude envelope or the modulation envelope. So let's click release ADSR mode. Now we have the attack, decay, and sustain release option. You can also right click for fine tuning or shift click for fine tuning. And if you exit ADSR mode, you still have the representation there. And you can just adjust and enter the ADSR mode again, and it's going to stick there. You can see that it's drawing on the background. So that's another great feature. The ADSR mode also helps when loading legacy presets, and you can also modulate. Let's say I want to use the MIDI CC1, which is my modulation wheel here, and I'm going to send to layer 1. and amplitude and envelope decay. I don't know if you noticed, but I can select another layer. So I can cross-layer the modulations now. So now I have my decay assigned to modulation wheel. If you look here at the bottom here, you can see my modulation wheel going up and down, and you can see that it changes there. So I can modulate the attack, and decay, and release, but it only works when you have the ADSR mode. So what else? Oh, another new feature. Let's say you have a wave sequencer layer here, but I want to convert this. I just click this and convert a sample player. I want a wave sequencer again. I just convert again to wave sequencer. So just something small, but it helps a lot. The sample player also have an option to delete all layers now. So you have loaded several sounds and you want to start over again, you can delete all the layers. I look in my changed file here to see what should I talk next. Another great feature is the save preset with samples. This is very handy because now you can save a preset and all the samples is going to save in the file. So it's going to create a Wusik Station preset pack file. I have one here. I'm going to replace this. I'm going to replace, yes. And the best thing about this is that you can just save this particular preset, or if you have, let's say you have 8 copies of Wusik Station loaded up and you want to save one file with the sounds of all these 8 copies, so you can copy this file along with your project file and make a backup. So you just select here all running instances instead. Then it's going to create a single file with all the sounds on the project, then save the project, so the project save this change. And just be sure that when you save this, you place the preset in the presets folder, because it's going to make all the sounds relative to that folder. So that's very important. So I'm just going to use current instance only because I have just one copy here. And it's processing. Okay, it's saved. Now if I load you can see here pack init wave sequencer. The P on the start indicates this is a preset pack. And if you load here the sample player on below here, you can see pack init wave sequencer. So it's loading the sound from this particular preset pack. And originally it was RetroDS waveforms d square point wave file. So it just works. It's a very handy new feature. And also this preset pack is compressed. It tries to use FLAC or zip. So it compresses the file and is a single file. If you look here, you can see the presets. You can see here it's a single file, init wave sequencer, Wusik Station preset pack. If I load with my X editor, you can see here it's just a binary file which has the preset information, and at the end is all the preset XML information, and at the end it has a binary compressed actually is on the start, sorry. The waveform is on the start, the presets on the end. So it's just a single file, so it's very handy. So let's see what else. Oh, we have new file formats. Let me show to you here. We have FLAC, MP3, POD, and Windows Media Audio. So this, you can load these files now. Let me show an example here. My samples. Let me convert this as a sample player. delete all layers. Field recordings, I have an MP3 file here. Doorbell is an MP3, so it loads. Sorry for the loud key pressing. So it just works. So MP3, FLAC, Windows Media Audio, and OGG. We can also copy, duplicate. Now I can duplicate layer. Just right click on the layer name and duplicate layer, copy layer. You can also do it from here on the preset name here. Save current layer, copy current layer. When you save a layer, it's going to create a special layer file. You can see here, init wave sequencer layer has L name. And when I click it, it's going to ask if I want to create a new layer or to replace a current layer. So let's try new layer. Now I have two layers. So that's very handy too. You can also use shortcuts C and V. You can see here. On my computer is Alt Shift the shortcut. You can change it here on the global menu. Key shortcuts, I'm using Alt and Shift. Drag and drop, you can also drag and drop several files to the interface. The interpolation of the sample player is now much better. And it also have a global auto loop option here. You can go here on sample player. You can see here auto loop option. So it's going to auto loop any file that's not looped. This is very good for single-cycled wave files. So you just hit auto loop and every single cycle wave file you load is going to auto loop. There's also an option for 16 bits memory. So it's always going to use 16 bits memory for all the loaded files, even if the file is 24 bits or higher. This can be a bit slower to load in some cases, but saves memory. And another option that you have is the modulation matrix now has an option to cross-layer modulation. So I can go to the master layer here. Let's say I want to add a LFO to layer 1, layer options volume, and then I want to add another for the same LFO, but for the layer 2, layer options volume. So now I have on my master modulation, I have two layers here being modulated by the same LFO, and I also can edit the source and the destination directly without having to delete. I just go on the source and I want to use XY pad Y, XY pad X. So it's really neat new feature. Envelopes now have templates option, just not the ADSR envelope, but regular envelopes. Just click and you have save template, and I have the default template and a test template I created here. And if you save a template to the default template, every time you create a new instance of WusikSH, is going to use that default template option. Now the sample player has a new option. You can open the edit zones, and everything you do here is saved on the project. So if you create several zones, so let's say I'm going to create a few zones here. I have just one zone here, and I'll load other files here. And it asks me if I want to create a new zone or replace a current one. I want to create a new one. So I already have 3 zones here. I can click on the small squares and it's selecting the zone. And then I can save this with the project, as long as I don't move the files. Or I can export the zones. And now I have this new Wusik sound format. And this is a new format with 3 options. Let me show the 3 options. It's a multi-file text and wave file or FLAC file, or just wave file. And if I select this one, it's going to create a file that I can edit with any text editors, like a SFZ file. And it's going to use wave or FLAC when possible for the waveforms. Or if I want to use just wave, so I can edit the files easily with Audacity or any other editor. Oceanology is a great one. I have silent here. Oceanology, very good one. Or a single file binary compressed. So a single file compressed binary. So just really neat new feature. So let's see what's next on the list. Oh, the legacy preset importing is doing much better now. So if I load a preset file now, a legacy preset is going to use the ADSR envelope mode. And it just works much better. So another thing I forgot to add about the envelope, you can see now there's the small blobs here. Now you can adjust the curve of the envelope. Just press and drag and adjust, or just on the envelope stage, instead of moving the stage, you just right click and you can also adjust. Shift will allow you to fine adjust. And also you can shift click on the stages for fine adjusting now. And the envelope curve is very good. It's a very new, great feature. And if you want force linear, you just click on linear and it's just going to remove all the options and bypass. It's a very handy new feature. We also now have the waveform editor. You can open edit zones, edit waveform. And now I have an editor for the waveform with loop start, loop end options. You can zoom in and out on the waveform. Let me load something very large. This is a large file. Very large file. You can use the zoom option here. This is a wavetable file, so it's very large. And we have several options, like let me show to you. You have set loop start, set loop end, remove loop points, selection equal loop points equal selection. You can remove a portion, mute, audio in, audio out. You can crossfade, normalize, reverse. Very nice new features. Very simple, but it just works. So you have also now the Kusum effect and Kusum filters. The Kusum filter was updated a bit, and the Kusum effect is now a new option. You can use the Kusum effect here as an effect. You can see here there's some other new options, like the long delay, loop recorder, wave shapers. And on the Kusum filter, I created a showcase in here. I forgot to rename this to 8.2, but you can check the showcase in here. Let's see the loop recorder here. You can see that it's looping my recording. And on the Kusum filters, I have new filter types now. new filter is very hungry on the CPU because of the way they're coded. They are not normal filters. And another option on the custom filter, you can check on the custom filter, there's several new options, is the carpus strong. You can check here. Carpus strong is just a tuned delay that works like a guitar string or something like that. So it's very good to play with noise sounds. So we added new filters too, so you can check here. Have different type of filters. The multi-line envelope I already talked about it. And another feature that's not very used, but is the XY pad here. There is an option here on the global options for the preset options, a GlobalXY. When you select a GlobalXY, this is saved on the preset. That's why it's a preset option. So when you load a new preset, it's going to reset. So you can use the effect master, that's the global master, to always show this one here, even if you are on another layer. So let's say I have 3 layers here. Let me add another layer. Let's say each layer has its own XY pad. As I select, you can see that it's changing. But if I select global XY, it's always going to show the global one. Then I can go here on the global, the master, and just use that XY pad to send to the other layers. You can see here layer 2, and I'll go to other layers. It's always showing the global XY pad. So it's a very neat new option. Another thing that was changed is the granular part. Let me load a file here. Here. Not very good. So now if I turn granular, I'm going to use 2 grains here. So I'm just enable granular. I can change the start point now. But what I really want to do is modulate. So I'm going to use the modulation wheel for layer 1, then sample player, granular position. And I'm going to use the smooth, so it smooths any change I do. But now I want to change the size of the grain. So I'm going to use my volume here. That's not working. Okay, I found one that works. 23 is my 3rd controller on my keyboard here. And I'm going to use that to layer 1, sample player, grain size. Now it's going to be fun. going to modulate with an LFO. So I just going to click here, LFO1. So just a little new feature that we added. So, well, that's pretty much it for this video. And legacy presets is working much greater now. This is the Dramatroxy by Artvira. Really love this set. I also updated the waveform display, it's a bit better now. And I usually use with the display with a single display, but you have an option here on the sample player for single stereo view or a dual stereo view. You can use that so it shows just one waveform for stereo files and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty much it. I think we covered all the new options that you have on Wusik Station version 8.2.0. Be sure to check your about box to see that it shows 8.2.0. I'm running the 32 bits on Windows here, but you have the Mac 64 bits, 32 bits, Windows 32 and 64 bits as well. And that's it. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you appreciate it. And don't forget to catch me live at live.wusik.com. Thanks for watching.